And joining me now is VP of Exploration and newly assigned Director of Garibaldi Resources. Jeremy, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. How are you guys doing?
Rather well, actually. The temperature here is dipped down to, I think, below 12, so kind of cold. But yeah, congrats on being added as a director to the company. It's well earned, my friend.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to working with all the other directors.
So today, Garibaldi put out news. It's been a while, and shareholders were eagerly anticipating sort of the first results to come out. I think I'm just going to open it up to you right away and sort of get your feeling on today's news release and sort of just get Jeremy's thoughts on it.
Yeah, certainly. Well, I'd love to. Yeah, the key takeaway from this is that it's really opening up and building scale here. That's is what we wanted to do uh, for a while now. And the key takeaway is that we've stepped out a few hundred meters, and we had our structural modeling, which we did quite a bit of very detailed structural modeling the last couple of years, has kind of indicated that this thing is heading to the southeast. So one of our earlier holes this year, 89, we collared it 350 meters east of hole 80, which is about 600 meters east of where most of the drilling was, and we angled down and we nailed the E and L intrusion, mineralized gabbro for over 140 meters. And so that just solidified for us. We know exactly which direction to be going and how to keep growing this thing. And really just it opened up the scale of this enormously, that and we'll focus our drilling so that we know the direction. And that's the biggest key takeaway here, is that we've tripled this thing from what used to be a footprint of 200 meters. Now it's over 650 meters and remains open, and we're going to keep hammering it down to the southeast.
Over the past few years, I've been interviewing you and other people that represent the company, and it seems to me like this is the type of results that the company's been working towards. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it is a bit of a challenging place to drill and explore. We've got an ice sheet to the north, so we can't just walk to the north and see what rocks are there. And there's some cliffy stuff and rather steep stuff that prohibits us from doing just getting a surface map of 100% of the area. And we've had indicators that said, hey, maybe the system's heading to the northeast, maybe it's heading to the north, maybe it's heading to the southeast, and all of our modeling and all of the stuff that we've done really paid off with this hole. And I mean, to do a 350-meter step out with our collar, that was a big risk, but we were quite confident in that, and yeah, we nailed it there, and certainly just tripled it.
Okay. How impressed are you with the tenor, in these holes?
The tenor still is quite good as we're going down there. It's about if you were to add nickel and copper, it'll still be around that probably 7 to 8% combined. So the tenor is still quite respectable, and those are just on two holes in this intrusion now that are only over a couple hundred meters long. Um, we're we're quite excited about that. The tenor is very highly elevated, and certainly something that we're going to keep chasing.
Okay. You already touched on it a little bit, but in layman's terms, can you kind of break down this very technical news release? Because obviously you have to put that news out, but there's a lot of retail shareholders that just read these types of news releases and really don't understand it. So your best shot at kind of explaining it to someone like myself.
Yeah. So the key takeaway from this is that we know where the system is going now, and so our exploration will be targeted on where the direction that it's trending. So for the last few years, we've been focused around this one area on Nickel Mountain, which has a footprint of about 200 meters, and we extended that a little bit with hole 80 last year. And all of our structural drilling that we've done over the last number of years, and kind of really doubled down and said we're pretty confident this is where the system is going. So we did a big step out to the southeast, to test to see if our hypothesis was right, and certainly it was correct because we drilled 140 meters of mineralized gabbro, the same rocks that we see just up to where in the northwest zone, in the E&L zone, where all those massive sulphide pods are located. Is this the same rocks we found now about 650 meters away? So that's the key takeaways, that we've extended this system from just a 200-meter footprint. Now we know it's at least 650 meters. It's open. And why this is important is because the way these magmatic nickel copper systems are developed, it's along a fluid pathway that goes through the crust from all the way from basically from the mantle to the, what would have been 20 million years ago, 100 million years ago, to some part of the crust near the surface of the earth. So we've found the fluid pathway that this magma chamber, this mineralized gabbro, has gone through. So now we can continue to explore that and go down it and trace it and follow it up and ultimately find more massive sulfide pods.
Do you think that it's likely that that pathway goes all the way down the mountain?
It is certainly looking that way, and that is great news because it will make everyone's life quite a bit easier as we're going down that mountain. So we've hole 88 was collared, like I said, 350 meters east of hole 80. So literally the other side of the mountain that we're working on, the eastern side of the mountain, and there's that intersected mineralized gabbro at a pretty decent depth. So now what we get to do is, instead of working at the top of the mountain, we can work our way down the mountain, which makes everyone's life easier. You're not as high, you're not pumping water as far. The clouds aren't an enormous issue. So it certainly looks like it is going down the mountain, which is great news for geologically and also from an operational standpoint. And it certainly looks like it's going that way.
Well, I'm just going to go off the cuff here. So if I follow your analogy, and to play a little bit of catch up, would it be possible for the company on a realistic basis to find some targets that would follow that pathway down more towards the bottom of the mountain to try to get a longer season in? Does that make
Yes,
any
certainly.
sense?
Yes, absolutely, certainly, and we're anticipating that and we're planning it. So, for example, right now to get our water to our drills, we start at the adit where the water is coming from, and we pump that up to another pump station, and pump it up to another pump station. Then it kind of can go out to the drills. From where we're working right now, if this continues to go down to the southeast as it looks like it's doing, you could literally walk 200 meters from our next drill site, from the adit to where the drill could possibly be if this keeps going down to the southeast.
Okay. Any chance that you could work in that environment over the winter, or is it still too difficult?
No, not over the winter. That would be too risky. I mean, you could work later in the winter and certainly earlier in the year, but overall, you as we're moving down the mountain, you're potentially getting into a more avalanche risk, because now instead of being on top of the snowpack, you're below the snowpack.
Okay. Got it. At this point, I'd like to open it up to some of the questions that we got in our community. Obviously, there's a bunch of questions we're not going to ask Jeremy in regards to financings and stuff like that. I don't think those questions are for him. So I'm going to give them a shout out, and we'll get to those. And I just want to take a moment to remind everybody, or actually inform people, that we do have an interview with Dr. Lightfoot. Peter Lightfoot has confirmed that he's going to do an interview, a more in-depth, detailed, and technical interview with us, and we'll get to that at a later date. So, Jer, you mind if I open it up to the questions from the community?
Yes, certainly. Yes, for sure.
So, just wanted to say thanks to everybody in the FTMIG, Follow the Money Investor Group community. Really do appreciate all of your questions for Garibaldi and your engagement, and we really appreciate it. So, here's the first one. How many holes are planned for drilling at Nickel Mountain this year?
This year, I think we'd like to accomplish, between 15 and 20. This year, we are drilling deeper holes. So now the holes that we're drilling as we're going down into this chamber to the southeast. Those are 5, 6, 7, maybe even 800-meter holes, as to 200-300-meter holes. So the number of holes will be less, but they're going to be 2-3 times deeper now.
Okay. In the past, you had water freezing problems. Are you confident the current setup won't be an issue as you try to extend the drilling season as far as you are as you can safely?
Yeah, we're 100% confident in that. The same guys that we've been working with ITL last year, there's been zero issues. All last year, all this year so far with the water setup. That's certainly not our Achilles heel. The Achilles heel is when Mother Nature decides to dump 4 feet of snow on us.
How many assays from Nickel Mountain are pending?
Probably like individual assays. I'd say at least 1,000. You drill a 600-meter hole or a 700-meter hole. You may not assay every meter individually, but we'll have probably at least 200-300 individual samples per hole. So there's at least 1,000 that are out, just core. And then we've got lots of crews. We've got at least 2 or 3 crews out daily doing field work.
Okay. Now that there seems to be fresh, high priority conductors, are you moving away from the queue, or do you still plan to drill that anomaly this season as well? If yes, when would you start drilling on the queue?
So where we've done now, we've got borehole EM on 80 and 88, and it is worth noting that last year we weren't able to get the borehole EM survey done on 80 because it was the end of the season and the electromagnetic loops that were put out weren't active. So we surveyed those 80, obviously at the beginning of the season, 88 once that got drilled. So those are definitely our highest priority targets that we're going off. There's multiple plates, multiple geophysical anomalies off each one of those. So those will remain our highest priority. The queue is still a priority. I'm not going to promise that's going to get drilled this year, especially if we are finding things that are higher priority, then we're going to continue to go after the highest priority stuff.
Okay.
It may, but I'm not going to promise it.
All right. Were holes 85, 86, and 87 drilled near hole 82? If yes, does this mean the massive sulfide sheet does not extend much beyond hole 82 in this area of the LDZ?
Yeah,
Lower
the
discovery
lower.
zone.
Yeah, they were drilled to the north of 82. So what we were testing with there was a potential northern extension of the eastern part of the lower discovery zone. So they certainly that area they did delimit an extension to the north. They haven't delimited an extension to the east. So what it does look like that we still are interpreting this is the same as last year, is that the lower discovery zone, or the main E&L chamber there, has massive sulfide on the eastern side of the gabbro body. And as you head south, that builds into a much bigger, thicker massive sulfide zone, which is the lower discovery zone. So there's still room to build that to the north, to the east. But those holes were to the north, and they have, you'd say they've delimited the main massive sulfide body of the lower discovery zone to the north, which isn't surprising because it is a overall east-west trending body.
Okay. Sort of ties into the next question. In the ongoing drilling, have you continued to follow the structure further lower east?
Yes, that is exactly what we've been doing. Is hole 88 was like the collar to collar step out was 350 meters. The inside the mountain drill hole trace, drill hole to drill hole, was about 120 meters, and that was down to the south and to the east. So that is exactly what we're doing, and that will be our highest priority moving forward, is continuing to explore this down to the south and to the east.
Are you drilling into the EEZ Hazelton interface in search of massive sulfides and semi-massive sulfides?
I'm not sure what the EEZ is. So what we're looking, so the Hazelton contact, that's the Jurassic age package of sedimentary, volcanic, and sedimentary rocks, and it's in that contact, that geological environment, where those Hazelton sedimentary rocks are in contact with the E&L gabbro. That's where we've seen all of the massive sulfide deposited. So that is certainly the geological environment we want to be in. And that's what we've found in hole 80 and hole 88 is we've gone through some Nickel Mountain gabbro into the E&L gabbro, and right in contact with that, we're getting into the hazelton sediment. So that's certainly what we're chasing, is that contact. That is an incredibly important boundary to be on.
All right. If the structures continue to go deeper depths on Nickel Mountain, will you consider drilling platforms at lower elevations for next season? Could the season potentially be extended at lower elevations? We actually kind of answered that already.
Yeah, yeah.
How soon will you release 3D models of Nickel Mountain for the public to view?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be before all of the 2020 drilling is compiled and modeled. So we got a whole season ahead of us. Probably another 7-8 weeks that we can get here. I know PDAC has just recently announced that they're going to be all virtual, and Roundup announced a while ago that they were going to be virtual. So we're going to need to have some, I guess, digital media or virtual booths, whatever those are going to look like moving forward. But I think this year, like I can't make a promise, but certainly that's something that I can going to be pushing forward to have, so that we have something tangible we can display while you're looking at a virtual booth of us.
Well, that's music to my ears, my friend, because we here at Follow the Money are already in the virtual space. So getting more companies comfortable with doing these types of things is something that benefits our community. So Jeremy, that's it for the questions from the community that we've chosen here. I do want to let everybody know that Peter Lightfoot is going to be doing an interview with us and giving us his take on the latest results, and we'll catch up with Peter. It's been a while. Final thoughts, Chair. How excited are you about where you're at right now, what you're seeing?
Oh, very, very excited. Yeah, these are, what we've been looking for a number of years now, is where's the main E&L system going, and now we've got a pathway towards it. We've proved that we, with these large step outs, that we know which way it's going. And there's also, from the field, more property scale side of things, there's some very exciting news that may have got buried down in the 6th, 7th paragraph. But we found some float boulders which are about 1 kilometer west of the E&L system that are the same rocks that we see there, the orbicular mineralized gabbro. As well, within the last, I think it was 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, we just found another outcrop of semi-massive and massive sulphide 12 kilometers northeast that contains 3.2% nickel and, or sorry, 2.3% nickel and about 2.3% copper. So this is the first time that we've actually seen in outcrop massive sulphides with nickel mineralization, and it's 2% nickel. So that's really incredibly exciting news that is literally 3 days old.
Jeremy, you're a very well balanced guy, my friend. Can you walk us through what your excitement level was when you witnessed that?
Well, I'm in Smithers right now, and which is about 4 hours from the project. And one of our project geos sent me pictures when he got back from the field, and sent me pictures in the XRF. We use what's called a portable XRF, and it gives you some realistic numbers. He sent me that. I think he sent me a text with a picture and the quotes, and I said, "You better not be teasing me."
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know it's been the weather up there this year has been definitely challenging, and thanks very much for your hard work. Again, congratulations on being added to the board of directors. That's not something that's you have to earn that, and you have. So look forward to working with you on a moving forward basis, and all the best up there.
You bet. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for taking your time here on a Friday night for you guys.
Well, actually, so let's just check out the score on the Raptors game. I don't know if
Oh,
you
right. Oh,
follow
geez.
that.
Yeah. No,
We've
really,
got
really
a
taking your time.
the Raptors are up right now, 22-21.
Okay, wide lead there.
Yeah, big lead. All right, go Garibaldi and go Raptors.
Yeah, you bet.
Take care,
Okay,
everybody.
take care.